to another edition of the Verde Valley Experience. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Boy, do we have a fun lineup for you today. It's absolutely unbelievable. We have more feet in the studio than ever. I think I counted, we have 32 feet. I have 32 pairs, well, not pairs, but 32 individual feet on my show today. But we have to be respectful of other guests who have no feet. So hey, stick around. This is going to get really interesting today. So the Greyhounds of the Verde Valley are here with us, and Monica Davis will give us the 411 on some of my favorite four-legged friends. And they're an amazing rescue organization that takes retired and off-track racing greyhounds and finds them forever loving homes in our community. So they're going to be with us today. Cottonwood Roadrunners Square and Round Dancing Club will be with us. They're going to swing into the studio, and Connie Phillips, the vice president of the organization, will inspire you to put on your dancing shoes. I guarantee it, and join the friendliest club in town for all the fun that happens weekly here in Cottonwood, September through May. Hillary Smith, the community outreach specialist from Northern Arizona Health Fit Kids of AZ, is going to be here today to tell us about the upcoming Fit Kids of AZ 5K Fun Run. That's going to be happening on November 1st. Fit Kids of Arizona is a program focused on helping children improve their health and by reducing childhood obesity and promoting healthy lifestyles for children and their families, and this event surely does that. Margaret Mitchell will be live in the studio with a few of her favorite friends. Now this is going to get really interesting here. Maggie has spent years leading educational excursions throughout the Southwest in the Sedona area, giving presentations about some of the Southwest's most notable residents and best-loved desert creatures. Going to be very informative and very fun. Tarantulas, scorpions, and snakes. Oh my! You want to see me run a 5K? Pull out a scorpion. I will be first place, I guarantee. And we'll head over to Habitat for Humanity's Restore, and we'll talk to Tanya Sims, the executive director of the Verde Valley Habitat for Humanity. Tanya was so nice to meet with us and share Habitat's mission and nationwide and their accomplishments here in the Verde Valley. So we've got lots of great stuff for you in store. So let's go ahead and get started. My first guest, you probably saw a few tails wagging here. The Greyhounds of the Verde Valley. We have Monica Davis, who is the adoption coordinator, and Janet Weber, who is Gable's owner. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
It's wonderful. Fur in the studio. I love it. All these beautiful creatures. So the Greyhounds of the Verde Valley, how long have you guys been doing this here?
8 years.
8 years. Wow.
I've been doing as the Verde Valley. I've been rescuing greyhounds since 2001.
Wow.
When I first got my girl.
A lot of dogs, huh?
Yeah. We have seen a lot of dogs.
I bet. I bet. It's an amazing organization that you do. Please outline it a little bit for us.
Okay. Well, there is only one track left in Arizona, thank goodness. We have the Tucson track. It is down to about 5 kennels. Now the process for us, the trainer we use, and pretty much for all this, they call and say, we've got a dog. They stopped running well, yada, 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 for whatever. Ava here, the little brindle with the red jacket, she, on her first race, chased a butterfly.
Oh.
She was not in the least bit interested in racing. He said she'll never make a racer.
Oh.
So he retired her right away. She shows one race and she was dead last.
Oh.
In fact, they had to run and get her off the track.
Oh.
She was having too much fun.
Definitely.
And she's been off the track 2 weeks now. She is going to be 2 November 2nd.
Wow.
Now this one has been off the track 2 days. She raced right around 100 races.
Wow.
They just said she had slowed down, and I'm going, well, you know, maybe it's because if you fed them better. Want to hold? Sure. I'm going to take you and show you sometimes. Now, actually, she came off the track, Ava, or KB Colgate. That's her name. Her track name is Colgate. This one, her track name is Little Bits. She looks like she's a refugee from Biafra. You can count every rib. You can put your hands down in them. And it's like they didn't feed her, but yet she came off the same kennel. So I don't know. I'm really kind of thinking she's probably got worms. I wormed her today for the first time.
Right.
She'll have a couple more treatments.
She's only been retired for 2 days.
She's only been off the track, well, 3. She went to the vet on Monday. We picked her up on Tuesday. We let them rest overnight at the vet. We do a complete vet check on them. They're spayed or neutered. They are we give them a dental. They're current on all their vaccinations, and we give them what's called a SNAP test. It's a 4D. It covers tick fever, it covers 4 different kinds of fevers they can get from ticks and fleas and different things. Lyme disease is one of them.
Yeah, right.
Because they all come from the kennels in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas is where the breeding kennels are.
Sure.
So pretty much we always do a 3D test on them.
Yeah,
Haven't
that's
had
very
many
thorough.
come up with anything, but
right.
they occasionally do.
That's awesome. That's great. And then you go through this process of learning their personalities, their likes and dislikes. I was looking over your website, which is greyhoundsverdevalley.org. Great website. Link to the adoptable dogs section. That's really great. I love all the information, and that you've even got Maya Kincaid, a wonderful woman, animal communicator, who comes and does some work with the dogs so that you know, without a doubt, what you're getting into as far as their personality.
And we do actually, if somebody's having trouble with their dog, we do have two dog trainers that have greyhounds, but they have been dog trainers for Doris. Probably about 50 years. Doris McFadden, she's out in Camp Verde. She does dog training, but she will work with you for free.
Wow.
If you adopt a greyhound from us. And Lois Karsten Liddy, she's down in the Dewey area, Prescott, and she will work with you for free also in dog training.
I can see it's very important to you that these dogs find a truly loving forever home.
Right, because when they do, it's like, you know, this little one is a little bit wild yet. She's a little bit skittish yet.
Yeah.
And then after they've been off the track and been worked with a while, they have this one who's being stood over.
Yes, Gable down here. He's made himself very
Gable's
down
but
here.
we put the tuxedo coat on him because he's such a perfect gentleman anymore.
Absolutely. Well, the greyhounds as a breed go, I mean, they're even-tempered, they're athletic, they're calm, they're quiet.
Right, and it's a very big misconception that they are hyper.
Yeah.
They do need a little bit of exercise, but if you have a decent backyard, or well, not even a backyard, but if you don't have a backyard, if you walk them or take them to a dog park, that's fine. As long as they get a little bit of exercise, they do calm down. Come here.
Certainly. Yes, they're
she's
not
leaving.
kidding when they say 43-mile-an-hour couch potato. It's not a joke, folks. That's the truth.
And if anybody could I give a spiel about our picnic this weekend?
Sure.
Oh, it won't be aired.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You know, there's always something going on with you guys. They can check out the website at
Right, we have events going on almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Flagstaff here. We're going to now, season's coming up for Phoenix. We will be doing, events down in the Phoenix area. I know in next month in November we will be doing Chico's in Sedona.
Right.
We're doing a meet and greet at Chico's.
And you're going to be doing a blessing of the animals in November.
Yes, no, the 25th.
The 25th.
October 25th out in Clarkdale, we'll be doing Blessing of the Animals. That's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's wonderful. That's great. And every second Saturday of each month, you guys are in Flagstaff
At
the PetSmart. And the third Saturday of each month, also in Flagstaff, this time at Petco. And then the fourth Saturday of each month, Sedona PetSmart. So it gives you plenty of opportunities to come see these amazing creatures. They're gonna, I'll warn you, they're gonna go right to your heart, and you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna want to take a dozen home at a time.
A dozen? Oh, yeah.
More the merrier, right? Check them out at greyhoundsverdevalley.org. You want to get in touch with them, the Greyhounds of the Verde Valley. That's the best way to do it. And like I said, go see the list of the wonderful dogs. And thank you so much for the work that you're doing for these amazing dogs. I have been a Greyhound owner. I know how amazing these dogs are. There's not quite a personality in another four-legged creature as there is in a Greyhound. And you look at those big brown eyes and you're just gone. So I'm just warning you.
Not that any of them looked at the camera, but
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's because they're
Can't
so
even
modest.
Can't see Gable's best side.
I
see her
know. I know. And
but yeah, how can you resist this face?
you can't. You just can't resist that face. Oh, Gable,
that.
you're on.
Oh, Gable.
And look at this. She's probably one of the smallest. She is a full-grown Greyhound. She's almost whippet size.
Right.
She was 47 pounds off the track. Gable is 72, but he's been retired a couple years, and that's it. We need you to cough on her.
It is amazing the difference in size.
Yeah,
but
you've got one of the bigger ones and the teeniest tiny you'll ever.
That's great. So there's something for everybody. They're great apartment dogs. They don't need that much exercise. It's truly a myth. So they're wonderful and calm and quiet. They do take some respect, and you want to have a nice calm household and your children to be well versed on how to work with a dog and treat it calmly. That is the one thing I've noticed with Greyhounds. They can appreciate appreciate calmness and kindness. And the Greyhounds of the Verde Valley organization does do that. Thank you so much, Monica. Really
You're very
appreciate you
welcome.
being here. Janet, thank you so much.
Oh,
Our
you're
wonderful
very
Greyhound
welcome.
owner, sharing Gable with us
Thank
today.
you.
Really appreciate it. And we've got lots more of the Verde Valley experience, so don't go away.
At Gettle's High Desert Mechanical, rather than do lots of things, we focus on doing one thing right. We serve climate-challenged people. Gettle's starts with a free system evaluation to identify the best AC and heating equipment for your home or business. Professional installation, warranties, and service after the sale. If you're climate-challenged, then we're the right choice. Gettle's High Desert Mechanical, the name to trust.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. My next guest is Hillary Smith. She is the Community Outreach Specialist for Fit Kids of AZ. Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And what a great spokesperson you are for Fit Kids. You're very fit. You're very happy. It's obviously working.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the program of Fit Kids for Arizona. I know that it's a really great program dedicated to keeping the children healthy. Now, how do you guys go about doing that?
Yeah, so we're a Healthy Lifestyles program. We're funded through Northern Arizona Healthcare, so Flagstaff Medical Center and Verde Valley Medical Center. And we've really got two parts. We've got our clinical program, and that's kind of for families that want that more one-on-one help making healthy lifestyle changes. So we've got a dietitian, an exercise physiologist, a nurse practitioner, and a behavioral specialist.
Wow.
So it's a free program. Families come in and they meet with all of those 4 practitioners, and they kind of just help them see where they're at in their life right now as far as health and as far as their lifestyle choices, and then they kind of see where we can make improvements and provide education and support in making healthy changes.
Wow.
And then our schools program, it's a partnership with local schools to increase physical activity and nutrition education during the school day. So down here in the Verde Valley, we are working with 3 schools, Dr. Daniel Bright Elementary School, Cottonwood Elementary, and Camp Verde Elementary School.
Wow. That's great. And it is hard for kids to make good choices at school. In fact, I was just having this conversation with my husband yesterday. I went through school with a Snickers bar and a Coke for lunch. I can't believe I survived it. I don't know. But we didn't have this kind of program back when I was a kid. We sure could have used it. So it's great to be able to educate the kids. Like, yeah, Snickers and a Coke's probably not the best thing to eat for lunch. And then to be able to provide that. And not just for the children, but for the families.
Right. And that's our clinical program really is family-based, because it's not always the kids that are maybe making these choices that are going grocery shopping. Sometimes they're with the parents, but if we can get everybody on board for kind of making the healthy changes together, it's a lot easier than one person trying to do it by themselves.
Right, absolutely. Get the family on board. That's great. And to get the family on board, you've got the fun run coming up here on November 1st, and that's the whole family can get involved in that 5K.
Yep, that's at Cottonwood at Riverfront Park, and it's really just an opportunity for us to get word out about Fit Kids and really encourage our community to get out there and be active and kind of get families out there moving together.
Yeah, sure. And you don't have to run. I mean, it's a fun run.
No, not at all. We've had strollers crossing, parents walking across with their toddlers, so it's really neat to see kind of the whole family crossing, waving their arms in excitement as they go over the finish line.
Yeah, get out, get active. Of course, it's a beautiful time of year here in the Verde Valley. It's absolutely the best time to do a fun run. And it also gets the awareness out about the Fit Kid program. Which is how long have you been with this program?
I've been with Fit Kids for about 1.5 years.
Nice. That's great.
And then our clinical program's been around since 2005, and then we've been in the schools in the Verde Valley. Last year was our first school year.
Wow. That's great. I know you guys are making headway already. One of your main focuses is childhood obesity, which is just running rampant across the nation right now. And it seems to be our food choices have a lot to do with it. Yeah,
food choices and activity. And so our clinic kind of helps out with that. But really we stress it's on the inside is what matters. some of our kids will come in and they'll be overweight, and so that's one thing, making those healthy changes is going to impact the weight. So that's not really our focus, but if we're making those healthy changes, then the weight's going to come off too.
Sure, it's a secondary byproduct that happens to be awesome.
Yes.
And the kids feel so much better about themselves when they're out doing things kids should be doing, like being outside and playing and running and making the choice to not sit and play video games for 2 hours. You can go outside and
screen time is a big one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Now give me some hints as a parent how to limit screen time to encourage the kid to get out and get active.
Our exercise physiologist always just kind of encourages families to like go out and do things together, whether it's going to the park or getting involved. Maybe it's a sports team, getting involved with something like that. Really just finding something you like, because it's not, exercise doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be getting on the treadmill, doing something like that. So we just really talk to our kids about getting out and being active. It can just be playing. You don't have to be running. You don't have to be lifting weights. It can just be playing, doing something that you like.
Yeah, that's true. And there's so much to do here in the Verde Valley. I have to say, we've got a great park system. We've got the river you can kayak on. You can go out and play. There's always something going on, which is really, really fun. Always an excuse to get out and get active versus staying home. And yeah, as a parent goes, you know, sometimes it's hard to come up with that. And it's hard to come up with the healthy choices. And your program really facilitates parents in having the knowledge they need to go ahead and get it done and keep their kids healthy.
Yeah, because there are a lot of resources, and that's one thing on our website. We've actually got a list of different community resources. So if you're looking, if your kid's interested in playing t-ball or baseball, we've kind of got a list in both areas, up down here in the Verde Valley and up in Flagstaff, on different organizations you can contact.
Right, it's a great website. It's Fit Kids, let's see, where is it? It's on here somewhere. FitKidsOfArizona.com. It's a pretty easy one, FitKidsOfArizona.com. You can go on there, and yes, it's a list of events and a list of all kinds of frequently asked questions. And it's a beautifully well done website, very informative.
Thanks.
So that's always nice when you can go somewhere and get that worked out. And you can always give them a call if you want to talk to a person. 928-634-1880 will get you to Fit Kids of Arizona. And that is a service of the Flagstaff Medical Center and the Verde Valley Medical Center.
Great.
So you've got excellent backing behind that and lots of good staff.
Yeah, we've got a lot of support, and that's really nice to see.
Yeah, definitely, especially in this community. And we do have a lot of kids in this community, especially in the Cottonwood area. And so it's wonderful to have that support group for parents. So I really encourage you guys to go out and check out the website, Fit Kids of Arizona. Now, as far as the fun run goes, so that's November 1st. So your registration is going on right now.
Right, it's already available online. If you visit our website, we've got a 5K page, and the link to register is right there. And for adults, right now, it's just $15 and only $5 for kids. And any children under the age of 5 are actually free.
Wow. That's great. It's all those stroller babies.
That's right.
All the babies in the sling, those guys are free. Now, and you can do early registration. You can also do late registration. The morning of the race, November 1st, there will be registration from 7:30 till 8:45. The race does start at 9, so you want to get in there and make sure you're running early. And T-shirts will be provided, which is kind of fun for all the registered participants. And after the run, there's going to be snacks and activities and awards ceremony and lots more information on the Fit Kids of AZ program. So you guys have a well-rounded community event.
Yeah, it's a really fun time to come out for the families, and the different activities after the race are fun too.
That's awesome. Do you race? Do you run?
I actually do not race. I get to help out, but our exercise physiologists from both of our clinics, because we'll have kids that participate in the Fit Kids clinical program, they actually have free registration too. So our exercise physiologists run with them and help them finish the race.
Oh, too much fun. The pride on their faces when they cross the... Do they wear numbers?
Yes.
On their shirts? Oh,
we do have numbers. Yep.
Some great photographs with that, I'm sure, all those great kids running. So check them out, FitKidsOfAZ.com, and you're going to go and do the fun run, which is happening on November 1st, and that's going to be running at the Riverfront Park there. So make sure you get over there and check that out. Thank you, Hillary. Really appreciate you being with us. Hillary Smith, Community Outreach Specialist with the Fit Kids of Arizona. Thank you.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
At Gettles High Desert Mechanical, rather than do lots of things, we focus on doing one thing right. We serve climate challenge people. Gettles starts with a free system evaluation to identify the best AC and heating equipment for your home or business. Professional installation, warranties, and service after the sale. If you're climate challenged, then we're the right choice. Gettles High Desert Mechanical, the name to trust.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Now, my next guest, who brought a lot of guests with her, her name is Margaret Mitchell, and we call her Maggie the Critter Gal. She's really awesome. It's great to have her in the studio. Maggie, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm really thrilled about this. This is exciting.
This is very exciting. So I guess we should go right into it. Who do you have here?
Well, this is Coco. He's a California king snake. I have several different snakes that I bring to my shows, my critter shows, my demonstrations. And Coco, I call him my therapy snake. Oh. Because for one thing, he's very beautiful, and that's a face anybody could love, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But the reason I call my therapy snake is because, unfortunately, Coco lacks a tongue. I got him when he was that way. He was 5 years old, and he had been given up by a fellow who had instructed that Coco was supposed to go to somebody that was an expert with snakes or knew a little bit more than the average person. And when I got Coco home, I realized why. He's lacking a tongue. Well, king snakes are known to kill other snakes. That's why they're called king snakes. As a matter of fact, king snakes are actually immune to venom and can kill and eat a rattlesnake. And so that's why you might want to keep a king snake in your yard if you happen to see one.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that the fellow that had him before might have thought Coco needed a buddy, tried to put him with another snake, and they fought. They possibly could have gone head to head. He was trying to pull them apart, and he lost the ability to use his tongue. So what Coco basically does is just try to not be noticed.
Yeah,
he
beautiful.
kind of plays dead. And a lot of times people who are ophidiophobes, that is the word for fear of snakes, ophidiophobia. Most people don't know that because they never made a movie called Ophidiophobia. And so a lot of people will dare to pet Coco or even touch him or hold him or get a picture taken with him. So I help people with a lot of fears of snakes.
That's amazing.
And he helps me a lot with that.
He's so beautiful.
Isn't he gorgeous?
On your shirt. It's like
he's a nice accessory.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty scarf.
And they are native to this area, so we will see these out and about.
Well, they don't know borders. They're mostly in California, but they will cross over Arizona border, of course.
Sure.
So we mostly would see them in California. But because they don't know borders, I consider them partly a native type snake.
Absolutely. And so they're a good snake to have. You do see one in your yard. You want to make sure. What type of habitat do they enjoy?
Well, they like they like water, so a lot of people will find them by pools. A lot of times by their spigots or a fountain. They like dark places, of course, during the day. Snakes are what we call crepuscular, which means we see them at dawn and we see them at dusk. And what they're doing during the day is typically resting up, waiting for something silly to hop along and for them to grab it. They don't usually go out and hunt like we might think. They wait for things to come to them.
Opportunists.
Absolutely.
Very good. Very
so
good.
The most common snake, king snake that you would find in the Verde Valley would be the common king, which is mostly black and bright yellow or even a cream colored yellow, same type of banding markings.
But with a black and a yellow.
And they're called the common king because that's what we see more often in the king snake world. We also have the Arizona mountain king, which is a red, black, and yellow snake.
Yes.
And banded as well. And a lot of people mistake those for the infamous coral snake.
Yes.
And a lot of people mistakenly kill an Arizona mountain king, thinking that it is a coral snake, not realizing that that snake could actually kill and eat a coral snake.
Right, that's true. I learned that we had them in Florida when I lived in Florida, and it's red to black, venom lack, red to yellow, kill a fellow.
Right.
That's the only way that I know to distinguish them. And I've come across them. I've come across more than one of those.
Yeah, in Florida you will, and they're a much bigger snake. The eastern coral snake is much larger. The western coral snake, we don't even have an anti-venom for that snake because it's never known to bite a person.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. But we have the mountain king.
Arizona mountain king.
Which is the red, black, and yellow. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful snake.
They are gorgeous. Like I said, I've come across them.
I think they all are. I think they're all rather elegant.
Absolutely. For sure. And you've got another snake with you today.
I do. I have my comedian. This is Samantha. I call her the comedian because she really likes attention. She enjoys being held, and her favorite thing to do is to climb on someone's head. Would you like to try?
I would love it.
Oh, great. Okay. Samantha, I've had her since she was a baby. She's 7 years old this year. Isn't she gorgeous? This is what we call a Sonoran gopher snake. Look at those beautiful colors.
Beautiful.
A lot of people mistakenly think that these snakes are rattlesnakes, and unfortunately, they will kill a gopher snake.
Samantha.
And be mistaken, of course.
Well,
First thing you're going to look for would be for a rattle, and also the spade-shaped head. And you can see that the head of the gopher snake is nothing like a rattlesnake.
Not at all. Though when they are aggravated, they do adopt a few postures, don't they?
Yes, they do. They coil up like a rattlesnake. They vibrate their tail. All snakes will do that when they're nervous, will vibrate their tail.
Really?
And then they'll strike and hiss and strike and hiss. And if that doesn't work, their last-ditch effort, and it takes a lot for a gopher snake to go that far, is to open their mouth, and as they're striking, they make a noise that comes out of their mouth that sounds exactly like a rattle.
Wow.
And it has fooled me for a split second.
I bet. So the main things to look for to tell if you come across this beautiful creature while you're out and about, and so that you don't think it's a rattlesnake, the difference in the shape of the head,
right,
and the fact that there's no rattles on the tail, and also, which you can't see on the camera, but they have different eyes. The rattlesnakes have those slits in their eyes.
Right, they have a cat-like eye.
Right, whereas these guys have the more round pupil.
Right.
I guess.
But we would hope that most people, if they don't know much about snakes, would not approach a snake close enough to even see that in the eye.
Yeah, definitely don't go around looking them in the eyes.
Right. Now, these snakes can live up to over 15 years. In captivity, they could live longer. Maybe get about 6 to 6.5, possibly 7 feet long. Another thing that you can see the difference between the gopher snake and the rattlesnake is the girth of the snake. Rattlesnakes tend to be pretty hefty in the body, pretty fat. Yeah.
That's true. Whereas this girl is lovely and slender, and so glossy and beautiful.
Yeah, she actually came from the Painted Desert. A friend of mine who is a snake expert found her. He does research for the state of Arizona, and he was finishing his research, was driving along the road in the Painted Desert at dusk, and saw a baby snake laying in the road. He stopped to check on her. She was alive, but she had a broken jaw.
Really?
And he took her home to the village where he lives, had her hibernate, and her jaw healed all by herself. So
really? Wow.
She's doing just fine.
She's a miracle.
And normally she goes in people's hair. She likes to sit on your ear and talk. She likes to mess up a bun or a braid. So maybe she was a hairdresser in a past life.
Absolutely.
Probably not a very good one, though.
She wants her full screen time here. She says, please, I want to be out and about so everybody can see how pretty I am. What type of prey do these guys eat?
Well, they'll eat, in the beginning, they eat baby lizards. This time of year, we see a lot of young lizards, and baby lizards are born this time of year because that's when baby snakes are born. And guess what? Baby snakes eat a lot of baby lizards. They also can eat frogs if they're near water. They will eat eggs, baby quail. They can actually climb trees, and will eat birds as well. But mostly when they get older, they will just adapt to mammals, mice, pack rats. They take care of that population.
Oh, thank you for that.
And gophers, obviously. So they will eat a variety of different mammals and birds.
I bet. Would you say this is one of the more common snakes that we have here in the Verde Valley?
Absolutely. Very common snake.
I've managed to find quite a few of you on my porch, Samantha.
And I have picked up many a gopher snake in the wild, and I've never had one bite me or strike at me. Just as long as you don't corner them or startle them, you actually can pick up a gopher snake pretty readily if you know what you're doing. I don't recommend it.
Right.
And a lot of people think that you should pick a snake up by the head because they see that on TV, but usually those are venomous snakes.
Right.
Think about it. The head is the end that bites.
Yeah.
So it's best to pick it up by the tail and then get a little more comfortable with the snake.
Sure. Or I like to just open the gate and say, shoo.
Yeah.
Go on out, or wait till they go on by. And,
they don't have ears, so Jennifer.
Yeah. I've always had good luck with you guys. You've managed to leave when I've asked you to leave.
I still talk to them too.
Yeah, absolutely. They're beautiful creatures. Well, don't go away because we've got a lot more of the Verde Valley experience coming up. I'm going to hang out here with Samantha, but we will be right back.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet? Shoebox under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Wow, we're back. It's so exciting to have all these creatures in here. It's a lot of fun, and me and Sam, we're getting a little more acquainted with each other. And I'm here with Maggie Mitchell. She's our local critter gal here in the Verde Valley, and she's got lots more critters for us. Now we're going to break out the tarantulas.
Everybody's favorite, spiders.
Oh, yay, the hairy spiders.
Yep. Spiders really get a bad rap, especially tarantulas. Tarantulas are used in movies and shows, of course, because they're very big. They're very scary looking, but they also know that tarantulas are not going to harm any of the actors.
Oh, that's
They're known
true.
as the gentle giants of the spider world. This is Jack Sparrow. This is a male desert blonde. That's the common name. And this is the type of tarantula that you'll see usually during the summertime, which is the mating season of the tarantula. This is a mature male. As a matter of fact, I don't think little Jack's going to make it a whole lot longer. Typically, when I find a male tarantula, they don't last more than about a year. And the reason why is because they really wear themselves down looking for the girls this time of year.
Sure.
And arachnids have very, very low metabolisms, which means they don't move a lot. But we might see little Jack waking up here. He might think he still has a chance.
Oh,
but we're going to pull out a female. This is Velvet.
Velvet.
And show you the difference between the male and the female. Tarantulas are very, very delicate, so you have to handle them very carefully. If you were to drop one on the floor, it could cause internal damage.
Yeah, definitely.
And death.
They're saying hello.
Yep. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him, though.
She just walked right all over him.
I don't think he's as handsome as he used to be.
Female.
He's
She's just
getting
walking
old.
all over him.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in the size of the legs, or the length of the legs, and the size of the body.
She is far bigger and thicker.
Yeah, and she's going the opposite way.
She's
which
running
is
away.
fine.
Like now.
Velvet I found in my garage. I believe that she was disturbed in my neighbor's yard across the street. I noticed he was doing some yard work. And 2 days later, I found her in my garage. I think she heard through the web that my place was the safest place to go.
There you go.
Now she's got her own condo,
Nice.
spider furniture, her own swimming pool, and I'm her chef.
Wow.
But anyways, the females live to be well over 23 years.
Get out.
The males usually don't make it past the age of 7. And the reason why is because of that low metabolism, and the boys are out really looking for those girls, usually by the time they're about 5. Now, this marking that you see right here on his thorax, that's the head, is not actually a natural marking. That's from me picking him up.
Really?
Because there's a surefire way to tell a male tarantula, not only by those long, skinny legs, but by what's called a tibial spur. And right here on the 2 front legs, they have a little hook. And that's perfect for hooking the fangs of a female.
Oh.
Where are you going there, Velvet? Because, of course, the female really isn't interested in mating. All she wants to do is have a good meal. And so if he can hook those fangs with those tibial spurs, then he can have his way with her and mate. And then in the following spring, she may lay up to over 500 eggs.
500 eggs?
Right.
Wow.
They're pretty. Now she's going to sleep.
Nope, she's curling up.
They're
That's
mostly
so
nocturnal.
Cute. That is true.
Yep.
That is true. Speaking of garages, that's usually where I find them. I find them in my garage.
Yeah.
And I find the same ones over and over again because I take them outside. I don't pick them up with my hands, but I have a little dustbin and they crawl onto it, and I explain to them very nicely, you need to go. They usually crawl right on the dustpan, and then I take them out. I have a rock wall in my front yard. I think a lot of them live in that.
Yeah,
and
they probably keep themselves warm on that rock wall, too.
Certainly,
if it's in the sun.
yeah. And my dog just sits there and goes, what's that? My cat wants nothing to do with them. I have found them in my laundry pile. I've found quite a few of these guys. But it's important to say that, you know, they're not dangerous to humans.
Right.
But they can get upset with you if they're not handled properly, and they do have those, was it the hairs on their underbellies?
Yeah, they're called urticating hairs, and it's actually all their hairs are pretty irritating if they were to get into your mucous membranes. But the great thing about this particular type, the desert blonde, which is so common in our area, their hairs are not irritating to the skin. You just have to be careful that you don't touch your eyes with a hair, because you know you can pet one and then end up with a hair on your finger and not realize it.
Right.
And they're kind of like little medieval barbed weapons, and they don't shoot their hairs; they literally flick them. So the bald spot that Jack created there himself by. Probably a macho thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, showing off to the female or being irritated that another male has found her before he has.
See, the guys aren't that different, regardless of how many legs they have.
Yeah, that's true.
And you've got another guest.
I do.
Yeah, my favorite guest.
This is my giant desert hairy scorpion.
All right, giant hairy desert scorpion.
And this is not a native scorpion to our area, but native to Arizona. This is the second largest type of scorpion in the world. Number one question people want to know is, why doesn't she sting me? Well, I choose my friends wisely. But no, actually, because of her large size, she's got the very big pedipalps, or pinchers, in the front.
Yes.
And so she doesn't have to always sting her prey. She can crush it and eat it.
Oh.
And so you can see with the metasoma, the tail straight out like that.
Oh, look at her.
What a large size she is. I can even pet my scorpion, and she seems to actually enjoy that. You think I'm really out there now, don't you?
Well, I think you do choose your friends wisely. Now, you said she was a hairy scorpion.
Yes, they do have hairs.
Look hairy.
Well, you have to see them up close. There are hairs on the front where her pedipalps are, and if I touch the hairs, you see how she backed off?
Yes.
I didn't even touch her, I just touched her hairs. And those hairs are how she can figure out if something is edible in front of her, like a cricket. And so she will, if something jumps right here, she'll reach out and grab it. She knows me. They recognize pheromones. We all have our own personal perfume.
Sure.
But when I got her, it was on special. I got her on the internet. It was buy one, get one free.
Really?
No, it's a joke.
Okay.
But when I got her...
Not something I've ever looked for on the internet.
Right. When I got her, I picked her right up, put her right in my hand, and she's never tried to sting me. I've had actually 2 other giant desert scorpions. They can live up to 15 years in captivity.
Wow. Will we find those out in the deserts here?
Not this far north. When you get into the Sonoran Desert, where we find the big saguaro cactus, then you might be able to find them. But they're pretty good burrowers. Most people really can live down there all their life and never see a giant desert hairy, unless maybe you're a construction worker laying the foundation of a home or plumbing. They dig a little deeper, they might come across one of these.
That's true. Boy, we have some wonderful creatures around this area in the Sonoran Desert and the Verde Valley. All these wonderful snakes and tarantulas and giant hairy scorpion things.
They're not as bad as you think.
No, actually, she's quite lovely. She has a wonderful personality, and she's very calm.
We're going to watch Jack here. Now, a lot of people want to know how to pick up a tarantula, and I tell them you want to be very careful, especially when you find the male. They're so jumpy, and the best way to do it is just to scoop them up in your hand like that.
Scoop them up. Excellent. Good to know, because I have often wondered how to get that scorpion or excuse me, tarantula out of my house.
If you're not confident about it, I wouldn't attempt it.
That's true.
You don't want to drop the spider.
Best left to the professional. Okay. Maggie Mitchell, our critter gal, does all kinds of wonderful demonstrations around Sedona area, and you've been doing this for many, many years. As you can tell, she's not new to this, and you're wonderful and comfortable with the animals, and I can tell that, yes, even the tarantulas, I can tell they love you.
It doesn't take much.
It's wonderful. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and bringing your friends with us today.
You're welcome.
It's been an unusual show, I have to say, but it's very enjoyable. I think Samantha's going to come home with me.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. A lot of people like Coco,
She's
too.
really, really sweet. Well, if you want to get a hold of Margaret, a.k.a. Maggie Mitchell, respectforcritters@gmail.com. That's her email, respectforcritters@gmail.com. And you can give her a call at 928-203-0355. So go ahead, you want more information, give Maggie a call on that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Jennifer.
Really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
Wow! I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now at 737 South Main Street in Cottonwood at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. And I'm here with Tanya Sims. She's the Executive Director of the Verde Valley chapter of the Habitat for Humanity. Tanya, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for the work you do with Habitat. That's quite an organization.
It is.
Now, can you tell me in a few words, because it's a huge mission statement, you guys do so much work. What is your mission at Habitat?
Our mission is to build homes for low-income families and provide a zero-interest mortgage for those homes.
That's amazing. See, there you go. And I like that there's a statement that says eliminating poverty housing one house at a time.
Correct.
Yeah. And the important thing about Habitat is you have to work for it. You've got your volunteers building, but the homeowners also have to volunteer several hundred hours of labor, plus, again, be responsible to hold that mortgage. But because it is zero interest, I mean, that's really wonderful. How do you manage to do that?
The zero interest?
Yeah.
Well, the zero interest mortgage we're able to do through fundraising to build homes, but also we try to receive donations towards that home, towards the construction of that home. So either through materials or labor, it helps reduce the mortgage, so it makes the mortgage affordable.
Oh, that's really great. And you're now on your 13th home, which is being built in Sedona, and I hear that's your first green home.
It is our first green home. It's going to be a LEED green home. So it's a concrete home, and it's going to be really energy efficient. So it'll be about the same temperature in the winter as it is in the summertime.
Wow.
And it's going to really be a stable home for that family. And even in the construction of the build is a green process, because you have to try to create as little refuse from that building process as possible.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
You guys are keeping up with the times.
Trying to.
That's awesome. Now, the volunteer part of Habitat, you guys are run mostly by volunteers.
Yes.
That's amazing. And some really great volunteers, too. If you haven't stopped by the store, you guys have a really great staff. Very friendly here.
Yes, that's one of the things that we were really proud of is our customer service. We like to try to provide a personal touch to folks that come in here and they have questions, and we're here to help answer those questions. So.
Right. You have quite a variety of things here at the Restore. Donations have been made of building supplies, furniture, housewares. I love all the little knickknacks and bulbs and doohickeys if you need a little thing for your door, and it's going to be here. You know, someone asked me, where can I find that little weird doohickeys? Go to Habitat, the Restore. It's awesome. You guys have all those little doohickeys that we need, as well as, of course, sinks and doors and windows and furnishings. It's really, really great, and every dollar spent here goes to support Habitat for Humanity's mission.
It does. Every dollar that we bring into this Restore helps support the affiliate in our mission.
Oh, that's really great.
It does.
That's great. Now, if someone wants to volunteer, who should they get in contact with?
We have a volunteer coordinator. Her name is Maria Lodico, and she's here at our office at 737 South Main Street. But you can also call 928-649-6788 and ask for Maria. and she'll be happy to contact you.
Good, good. Yeah, if you want to get involved in the building of the house, or perhaps help out at the store, or anything else that may be needed, there's certainly always volunteers needed. And donations, of course. Donations of supplies, building supplies, and money is always appreciated.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. And a great website you guys have at vvhabitat.org. So V for Verde Valley, vvhabitat.org. All kinds of great information there. Anything anybody wants to know about upcoming events. You guys do fundraise.
We do
a couple
fundraise
times a year, which is really great. Great events. They're always a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have one event that we've started creating as an annual fundraiser, and that's Blueprints and Blue Jeans. We had our first event this year, and we're going to hold it again next year.
Nice.
So be on the lookout for information about that in the next few months.
Sure, sure. You can check out the website, vvhabitat.org, for that. And if people else want to get involved in Habitat for Humanity to support their community, what else can they do?
Other than what you've mentioned, volunteering, we have many volunteer capacities. It's not just construction or in the restore. Our board members are volunteers. We have several committees: family selection, fundraising committee, public information, finance committee. I mean, we have a ton of committees, so if that's kind of your bent, then we're always looking for volunteers there. Volunteers to help out in the restore. We even have volunteers who work on our pickup truck that goes out and picks up donations.
Sure.
So we have many volunteer opportunities. Definitely donate. You can donate, you know, things that you're getting rid of out of your home, or monetary donations are great too, because those actually go towards the construction of homes.
Sure, that's true, that's true.
Yeah.
And how does someone go about applying to be a resident in a Habitat home?
Well, you have to contact us, and we will send you a pre-qualification packet. It's a list of questions and some information that you're required to send back to us. And then the Family Selection Committee has a whole process that they have to go through to make sure that we're providing the same information and going through the same process with every applicant.
Right.
So it is a process, but there are some requirements. You have to have the ability to repay a mortgage, which means you have to have some consistent income. You do have to have good credit, and your debt-to-income ratio has to be there. And you have to have a willingness to partner, and that's what you were talking about earlier, is you have to partner with us, and you have to participate in the build of your home.
Right. Which is a wonderful feeling, to say, I built part of this home.
Yeah.
So Habitat does a lot for people besides creating a shelter. It will definitely boost them up self-esteem-wise, because they helped create their home, they own their home. People who might otherwise struggle with a mortgage the way the mortgages are now. It's just such a wonderful thing to have come about. Now, the Verde Valley chapter has been here since 1995.
Correct.
So you guys have done a lot of good in the community. And of course, having a nice house in the community also improves the community.
Yeah, well, it helps the family feel that stability and that sense of community and ownership.
Ure.
So it's a very important component of being involved in a community and belonging to a community.
That's great. Well, for more information, check out the website, vvhabitat.org. Come on down to the Restore at 737 South Main Street in Cottonwood. Check them out. Buy lots of cool stuff, or if you want to donate some stuff, give them a call if you want them to come pick it up. That's a really cool thing. Or if you have any questions, the friendly staff here is going to help you out. Again, the phone number, can you throw that out there for me?
928-649-6788.
That's awesome. Tanya Sims, Executive Director of the Verde Valley Chapter of Habitat for Humanity, thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Have
it.
a great day. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Now, you got your dancing shoes ready? Because you're definitely going to want to break them out for this. I'm here with Connie Phillips, who is the Vice President and the Public Relations Director of the Cottonwood Roadrunners Square and Round Dancing Club. That's a lot of fun. And she's been so gracious as to bring Don, a.k.a. Dad. Don Goddard's with us today too, and I love that we've got you as the oldest dancing member, but not age-wise, just the longest dancing member.
Yes, I've been there quite a while.
Since you were in diapers, I take it. You were dancing in diapers.
Not really.
That's too fun. I love your organization, the Cottonwood Roadrunners. That's just way too much fun. You guys have a great website, cottonwoodroadrunners.com. You can check out the schedule there. But it's so much fun. Tell us about your club.
Well, our club now is a little different from when it first began, and Dad was in the early 60s in the club when it was called the Mistletoe Tappers.
Wow.
And before that, well, no, you and Mom started in '59, so before the Mistletoe Tappers, what was it called?
Verde Valley Twirlers.
Verde Valley Twirlers.
Wow. So it's undergone quite a few changes since you were a kid.
It has undergone some changes. I think I brought one picture when the Roadrunners first began in 1979. They changed their name to the Roadrunners, and there is a graduation picture that I had brought for the first graduation class then to what it is now.
That's great.
So
that's great.
One of the things about our square dance clubs anymore, when Dad and Mom were dancing, there was square dance clubs in Sedona. Flagstaff had 3 of them. Prescott. Payson had clubs. We could dance every night of the week. Now things have folded. A lot of the clubs have folded. Flagstaff doesn't have a club. Sedona no longer has a club. Payson no longer has a club. So we have to travel a little further.
Well, sure. That's a lot of travel time, I bet, to get all over. Because square dancing is a wonderful thing. One of the neatest things I think about it is, regardless of what country you're in around the world, it's always called in English. Exactly. So anywhere you are, you can go square dancing and understand what they're saying, if you speak English, which is amazing, awesome, and way too much fun. I did a little bit as a kid. I remember doing that, and that was a lot of fun. And what I like about you guys is it's multi-age. Anyone of any age can come and join your club and dance.
Yes, we have a couple of teenagers in our club that dances with us. We hope we get younger people, because if you don't, you know what happens. So it's fun, and it's entertaining, and it's good family fun.
Absolutely.
There's no drinking, there's no smoking. It's cheap entertainment for families to bring their kids. I took my kids when I was dancing in the 90s. Yeah. My girls both learned to dance. It's $5 a night, you know, so you can't beat that anywhere else.
That is true. That is true. You guys meet once a month and have just a big dance.
We have once a month. Right now it's the second Saturday of the month. We have our dance here. Prescott has their dance the first Saturday of the month. So we all travel to Prescott to keep their club going.
Nice.
They all travel to us to keep our club going. I have to mention a woman out of Phoenix named Sherry. Prescott was ready to fold. They were ready to close down. And Sherry and Jack came up from Phoenix, and she said, no, we will do all that we can. And I have partnered with Sherry, and she and I can get the clubs going, and she gets all of the Phoenix clubs to come up to Prescott, and Tomahawk Twirlers is what she belongs to. And so we all go to Prescott and support them and get them going, and then they all come to our club to keep us going.
That's great. That's great. Now, if you're like me and you've forgotten everything you learned about square dancing and you want some lessons, I love that you guys have lessons that run every week on Tuesday nights at 6:30. Now, this class has already started, so you've missed on this one. But the next one is going to start January 27th if you want to get in on that class. It's Tuesday nights at 6:30 in the old Civic Center that's downtown in Cottonwood, right at the bend across from Larry's Antiques there. What number is that? 800 North Main Street, I believe is the name of that.
805 or something like that.
Big, beautiful stone building. You can't miss it. And I know I always hear you guys when you get started over there.
Oh, yeah.
That's way too much fun. So if you need some lessons, hey, there you go. And what I love is there's a couple of different types of dances. You've got square dancing, but you also have round dancing. Can you explain the difference?
We have round dancing as well. Round dancing is to a cure. Now on Tuesday nights we just do the square dance class, but October 25th and then in November again we're going to have round dance lessons. And round dancing is dancing with a partner to cueing of the steps. And when you go to an actual square dance, we have square dancing and then we have a round dance and then we have square dancing and a round dance. It alternates tips. And most of our square dancers do both. They do square dancing and round dancing.
Wow.
So
how
it's,
interesting.
yeah, it's a little different. So when we do have a dance, we have a caller and a cuer also that come and call for us.
So they're two different people.
Right, two different people. And nowadays, used to when Mom and Dad were dancing, they had callers that lived in Prescott, callers that lived in Cottonwoods, so we had callers right there. Nowadays, we have to get our callers out of Phoenix or even further. We've got the festival planned for next year, October 2015, and we've got a caller out of San Francisco.
Wow.
Eric Kennerly will be there next year. So callers travel all over the United States calling and the world.
Wow. Is there a caller school? Do you have to go to
There
school?
is a caller club lab. Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes. They have to be in the caller club lab to be available for our square dances.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You don't want to start calling
It is a
all kinds of weird things. Everybody's just crashing into everybody.
Right, right. It is
Which would be me anyway if I was out there. I'd be crashing into everybody. Not the most graceful person, I'll tell you that. But sounds like way too much fun.
Now, when Mom and Dad started dancing here in the Verde Valley in the 50s,
well, in the late 40s, they started dancing, and everybody that could sing or carry a tune at all, my mother had a patter called that she called, and most everybody else did too. So they didn't have a paid caller per se like they do now. Everybody just had their own call. That had any rhythm to them whatsoever. That's the way they were back.
Wow.
Up until, well, when we started at the Methodist Church there in Clarkdale. The preacher at the Methodist Church was our instructor. And we learned to dance there in the basement of the Methodist Church in Clarkdale, which is now the library. But Bertha Mae White was a minister there, and she was a square dancer and got us started.
Oh, wow. That's great. Humble beginnings to a wonderful space.
And their club, the club at the time in the early 60s, poured the slab at the gazebo in Clarkdale.
Really?
And they poured it just so that they could have square dances there, right?
Yeah, as far as I can remember, the Square Dance Club poured it. I guess, I don't know who paid for it. I don't think we had the money in the club to pay for it, but so maybe the people in Clarkdale might have paid for it, the city, but we poured it, and you can start dancing on the west end of it, and if you weren't careful, you'd be on the south, on the east end for a while. It's on quite a slope. It don't look like it, but
really?
it is.
Well, you know.
It's a downhill situation there.
Oh, dear. And long legs like yours, I bet you cross distance pretty quick.
Yeah, you can get downhill pretty quick.
Oh, I bet.
But the neatest thing I have to say is Mom and Dad quit dancing in about 83 or so, 85. And I got Dad back into dancing this year.
Oh,
so that's
great,
cool.
Don.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's the best thing I have to say about the
Do you
whole
guys
thing.
partner up?
We do every now and then, although I find that I'm busy. And that's another thing. Back when they were dancing and I was a kid growing up dancing with them, mostly everybody was partnered up. Mostly it was couples. And now when I started back again, now we're all singles, we're all solo people. So really there is not that many couples. So that's one good thing about our club is we have lots of men that are willing to dance and angel the new students, new women that come
Oh, what
in.
a hard job.
So yeah, so I kind of bow out and Dad dances with anybody that needs the student
Well, that's
help.
delightful. So
Yeah.
there you go. You don't even have to have a partner. You can come on down and
Well, it's
dance
the best
your
thing in the
toes
world. A guy like me can dance with 4 women at one time.
Woo! You got it made.
You don't have to just have one.
That's great. I love it. I love this funk. That's
and I do have to say our caller this year is, his name is Mike Magnette, and he comes out of Phoenix, and he drives up here every Tuesday night for us. And then we're doing a demo October 25th at the fairgrounds. Cottonwood's having our big festival.
The Fall Festival.
Fall Festival.
Yeah. Oh, great.
And he offered to come up and call for us for an hour from Phoenix, just so we could do a demo up there.
That's great. So make sure you check that out, the Fall Festival there that's happening October 25th. And check out the website, cottonwoodroadrunners.com. You're going to see their schedule of all the good things going on. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don and Connie, really appreciate it. Cottonwood Roadrunners Square and Round
Also Facebook.
Club. And also check them out on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook.
Yes.
And thank you guys so much for watching the Verde Valley Experience today. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.